Everyone, we're live again with part 2 on this knife we started last week. Today we're going to burn Helvie on the other side and see what else we can get done in 15 minutes.
Okay.
All right, so got our trusty wood burner here. I think I'm going to put it somewhere around 6. And we're going to start, this is the side we started last week. I'll go back and forth and move around all through the knife. I usually don't finish nothing as far as starting one side till it's done. We'll start over here. And I'll see if it's going to burn dark enough for me.
Now, did you draw that on there, or are you just freehanding?
We'll freehand this. I think I'm going to turn it up to 7. I'm losing some heat because I'm not trying to go too fast. So when it's fast or hotter, you can move a little bit faster. And as once again, you can see the little bumpy lines in there. That's the grain, which is really hard to keep from happening unless you got some really, really smooth wood, like basswood. That's why woods like oak and walnut, they're really hard to burn. I like these big blocky letters because I like to put stuff inside them. Can fill them up with some of your designs, and I have a little hole right there, so we'll just put that right in that hole there. Then you know your letters don't have to be perfectly straight, but I do try to sometimes put them in the center of the handle. But that you probably want to draw out, and then if you don't like it, you can erase it and start over. And sometimes cursive lettering, you don't have the option to try to make one of the letters smaller to fit in there. So that might be something you might want to write out first, unless you don't really care where it goes on the handle. And I put this blue wimp wrap around the cork that these come with. I think it helps with dissipating some of the heat. When you go at angles, that's some of the toughest ones. Those little grain bumps get in there. And when I do block lettering, I've always liked to use a small case eye for Helvie. I don't know, I just think it looks neater. But you can put a big eye in there if you want, or you're probably going to use your own name. So if your name don't have an eye, you don't have to worry about it. And you've seen that burn a lot darker than over here. That wood was softer or something. And the same thing, running down across the grain, you can see it doesn't flow like when I went with the grain. And it's real hard to burn this way. Can be done. I think it's easier to pull your tip than push it. All right. I like to shadow the lettering. So I come in here and just kind of make it like 3-dimensional. I think it makes it pop out a little bit more than not doing it. But it's up to you. And I like letters. You've noticed a lot of my knives are dominated by lettering. I like the different styles of lettering. Like I said, I like big fat letters because you can burn stuff in there. Make it a hippie knife, religious knife. You can burn symbols in there. Music knife. And there's our hole was. So we'll just burn that hole up a little bit. See,
So there's a hole in the handle wood.
A little knot hole. See, I got a char on that end right there. Look, it's not hardly burning.
Okay.
So it's time to polish the end of it off. You can see it burning that leather. It should be nice and clean now. Like I said, don't use sandpaper. Just tear your tip up. The tip's metal and sandpaper's made to take metal off. Oh, I should have showed you that little chunk popped off there.
Yeah, I don't know if this picks that up or not.
Is it picking up the puffs of smoke?
I don't see it on here. I don't know if anybody else does. Hi, David.
All
David's
right.
joining us out of Pennsylvania.
Hey, Dave. On circles, you got to remember that they start smaller, they get bigger when you're shadowing them. Of course, that's all going to be colored in with the letter next to it, getting it. It's kind of hard to talk when you run out of stuff to talk about when you're just shadowing a letter. But maybe Holly will talk to you.
Rich doesn't talk very much anyways, so I'm sure the talking is more challenging to him than showing you the wood burning. We balance out. I talk too much. He doesn't talk enough. And if you heard that, that's our daughter over there giggling, agreeing.
I think I got the V line a little bit thinner than the other ones, but most of the time you just never notice it. All right. Now you can draw these on there with a pencil by making your angles and connecting all your angles, which I guess I should start drawing stuff on here.
Now I might be putting the cart in front of the horse, but I do know that handle is not completely flat. So what advice do you give people on something that's going to be rounded when you're wood burning?
You definitely got to have a very good grip right here because it's so easy for this to do this while if you're not holding it real tight and it rolls on you, you're going to go like that. So I hold it really tight and I put it at an angle that it is almost flat for where I'm going to burn.
It's hard probably for them to see the angle.
So I'll have it like this. And if I'm doing it, I'll turn it over and push down here because I'm pulling this way. So I guess I'm used to it. If I'm holding it, I'm putting my fingers under it and the pressure. That's where I'm holding it. So, I'll start drawing, but I like to outline some of this stuff because I want some of the wood of the knife to show through. So these are just guidelines. They don't have to be perfect because when you burn them, you'll know when to stop. I just make a little border around it. Normally, I don't draw them. I'll just burn them on there. And sometimes, that's a mistake. Like I said, run out to the shop with sandpaper, wishing that I would have drew it on there. Sometimes you just, I won't say you're in a hurry, you just don't think about it.
Or if you're like me, you just think you can do it anyways, and then you do it and you're like, oops.
Well, normally I don't mess this part up because it's just outlining it. What I mess up is I've spelled people's names wrong.
Yes.
So
I usually catch that when he brings them into me to ship.
yeah, isn't his name George and you got Bob on the handle?
Yeah. So
No, that hasn't happened, but it's happened where I've left letters out of their names. Well, that's his nickname.
Mhm.
He doesn't go by Ralph, he just goes by Alf.
Mhm.
It's like that commercial. I don't know if you guys are football fans, but the guy's painting the end zone for the Kansas City Chiefs, and he puts chefs on there. And I think it's you need a Snicker bar or something. It's a Snicker commercial. So there's our outline.
Okay.
Now, I don't know, you see this V, and what I see is like maybe a sun with rays coming off of it. So you got that in the V, usually I sit here and I'll look at it and think, what can I put inside this?
Can you make an eye, a pumpkin?
Yeah, we can put.
How hard to get you. There we go. Just to give him an idea.
Some people like, a peace sign. You got a pretty big spot right here. You could put one at an angle in there. Wait, I think I drew that wrong. I think there's a straight line in there somewhere.
Yes.
See, this is where you need your eraser. So to do this correctly, I should probably just draw the straight line all the way down. And know that there's a branch off here, branch off here, and a branch off here, and a branch off here.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to complete this circle down here. So when you burn it, you don't want to burn these little spots in here because that's going to be, you want that all one piece. And then if you'd want a nice, flowers are always easy to burn. So I come in like that. See, and I left gaps in here so I can put petals behind it. You're not going to see that one. And then you can add little petals in here if you want to add a little more dimension to it. It's endless what you can put inside these. So anyways, I'll probably sit here and think about it. Next week, we'll fill it all up with some other stuff. If you want to put the star.
I was gonna say, with what you're doing, the pumpkin face probably don't go with the rest of it. You can probably erase it.
You can put a smaller star in here. And when you burn that, if you want to put some stripes rolling in there, then you get the flag. Yeah, the pumpkin head probably don't look good.
No. Which is why I'm not the artist.
Remember to draw light, which I didn't do. We can you can make those circles.
Mushroom?
Make it look like it's fizzy.
Oh. Okay.
Like carbonated bubbles.
That's cool.
You can put a mushroom in there. Usually little cartoon mushrooms get these dots on them. Polka dots. Then you still got space here. You could put another hippie sign or a heart, which, is kind of like on a lot of hippie stuff. Smiley face. You can put more flowers in here. You can put more of a traditional, just couple petaled flowers. Sometimes when you get these really small, they're hard to burn.
Because it all runs together.
Because your tip's just a little bit too big, but we may take that little hippie sign off and who knows what we'll put in there. But these are things that I guess we're going to finish this knife live. So I will be burning. And if you're going along with me, you can get a flat piece of wood and write Helvie out and burn those in there or draw them in there. And then we'll burn them next week. Oh, how long we been on?
18 minutes.
So I think we'll wrap it up this week because this is something for you guys to practice with.
Yeah.
And I guess until next week, we'll do another 15 to 20 minute video till we get this done. It may take 2 or 3 months, but we'll get it.
Yeah.
If you got any ideas or suggestions you want to throw onto this,
Yep. Put in the comments area.
Comments.
Yeah. So.
And this is sponsored by today. Yes, last week was
Bacon.
Scott Galloway's Love Bacon hat he sent me. Thanks, Scott. And this one is Bart Wilson wood carvings.
No, that's Dry Creek.
Oh,
that's John.
This is John Overby's Dry Creek wood carving.
No, I do not dress him.
I don't even know what hat I got. I just grabbed one out there. Is it green?
Yeah,
That's
it's got green
John
on it. It's
Overby.
John's. Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to wear Bart's next week.
Yes. Yeah. So we got to remember, I have to dress him next Sunday. Okay.
Yeah, see,
All right. Well,
she even lets me wear these holy shirts still.
yeah, right.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
See you later. All right. Bye.
Bye.